Well. Yo, I got a special treat for y'all today, man. Evidently, this is a real popular song right here. It's called Black Betty by Ram Jam. After I reacted to what was the name of it? Let me see. Hold on. Oh yeah, the Righteous Brothers. After I reacted to the Righteous Brothers, a lot of people was tagging me on Twitter. Well, it wasn't a lot of people. It's probably like 3 or 4 people. They was like, bro, you gotta check out Black Betty. So I looked up Black Betty, and this one popped up. I never heard of this. I don't even know if it's a group or a person. I don't know. But their name is Ram Jam. It's old school. I see y'all love y'all always love the old school reaction. So we finna check it out and see what we finna see what's finna go on, man. Let's get it, man. I saw a lot of other reactions pop up too, so I must be late, man. Let's get it. Yo, the lyrics though. Black Betty had a child. Man, that thing going wild. That child going crazy, man. I ain't got time for Black Betty and her kids, man. Oh no. Oh no. Shit catchy as hell, bro. That shit hard, bro. I can't even count, bro. I listen to this every day, bro. I'm low-key gonna listen to this every day. I'm gonna listen to this every day for the rest of my life now. But I know, if you don't get in no good mood here, oh, Black Betty, bam, wham, oh, Black Betty. If you don't get hyped after you hear that, bro, you just a bad person. Real talk, bro. Y'all better run this reaction up, man. Because I need niggas to see this here. Man. Real niggas, black, white, Chinese, blue, purple. I need everybody to see this. Everybody already saw it because it had like 300 million views. But it's a lot more people because I know none of my niggas heard this before. Oh Lord, they finna be like, Shaq, what the hell?
Oh, that's no lamb.
What? Oh, Birmingham, Bama Lamb. I'm trying to peep what he's saying. He's saying Bama Lamb. Hold up. Yo, hold up. Did this nigga just say she's shaking that thing? She driving me insane. Hold up. Let me find out. Yeah, I knew this nigga like the We Like Those. Hold up.
Well, she's shaking that thing. Bam, lamb, boy, she makes me sing. Bam, lamb, whoa.
Boy, he said she's shaking that thing and it's making him sing. She got that. She must really got that We Like Those. Boy, ain't no way.
Bam.
Now I got 3 things from this song right here. Black Betty got a kid. Number 2, he don't give a damn if he got that eyes. And it make him sing. And she died there in Alabama, Birmingham. Yo, I'm telling y'all, bro. It's so, bro. When I tell y'all, I don't know, bro. I don't know where I be hearing these songs at. Cause I don't go nowhere really. I think I be hearing these shits on movies, bro. And then I don't think nothing of it. Then when I actually hear it on a reaction, like I'm like, yo, I done heard this before. Man, so their name is Ram Jam, Black Betty. I gotta ask my granddad that. I know he know it. But y'all let me know, man. Oh yeah, by the way, my granddaddy loved the Righteous Brothers reaction. I ain't get to get his reaction to it because we was on FaceTime, but bro, he was happy as shit, bro. I appreciate y'all for showing love on that video. But it's crazy right here. Ram Jam. Well, I'm telling y'all, This finna go on my playlist, bro. 'Cause this shit got me hyped, man. Oh god.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you for clicking on a little reaction video there to Ram Jam and Black Betty kicking off our Monday night, kicking off our week. And again, thank you all for clicking on. Thank you all for being here. Got a great show coming up. G. Abott is going to be with us, but before that, we've got some news, and obviously we're keeping it light here at the beginning because there's we got some kind of serious stuff coming up. But I want to play one more little music thing here, and then I'll hop over in the chat before we get on with the news. And I'm doing the music stuff in the beginning here just in case we get copywritten. And all you that are live, watching live, you'll get to see what we're seeing here. We might have to cut out the beginning there. So if you're watching on demand, on replay, then at a later time, thank you so much for watching, but you might have missed the opening here. But here's a little something musical. That was called When You've Only Got 60 Seconds to Audition for Metallica. Once again, hello. Thank you for clicking on. It is the 23rd day of the 23rd year of the 21st century. And we say good evening to you. It is Doofus After Dark on the American Doofus channel. G. Abbott from G. Abbott's Basement is going to be joining us here in a little bit. But in the meantime, I'm going to hop over into the chat. Sister Mary, stunning. Mike D, hello, Bruce. Sandy Foster. Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool too. It's amazing some of the talent that that's out there that people don't know about. You know, like me. Liberty Bell, hello. Lisa Hurley. This is my jam. Actually, my bass guitar, the name of my bass guitar is Black Betty. It's a black Fender. Lori Arnold, BTM Sparky, Mater, Troll Central. I'm going up. In case I miss anybody, I do apologize, and I'll try to. Makala, Judy Davis, hello, Sable. To check, Susan Knox. Guys, we got a bunch of people in here tonight. Great. G. Abbott's going to be here, and everybody stick around. Hello, Troy. Heard Troy's voice for the first time. It totally changes things with your YouTube, with your online experience. When you hear somebody's voice that you see in chat a lot, you start seeing when they're chatting, you start seeing the words with their voice attached, okay? Because you're not hearing their voice, but you're seeing the words, and their voice becomes attached when you hear their voices. And of course, when you see people online, and then you see them in chat, it's like, okay, you know, I got a pretty good idea what that person looks and sounds like. Anyway, Thank you all for being here. Thank you all for watching. And hello, Pluck. I didn't see Pluck, but I saw somebody say hi to Pluck. So hi, Pluck. Hi, Sassy Pants. I see that too. Troy does have a killer voice. Lori Arnold's in here. I haven't been online a lot today. I popped into Telescope's channel briefly, but I didn't. I was on my phone, so I couldn't chat. And I popped into Lori Arnold's channel briefly, and Lori was getting ready to. She was actually closing out the stream, so I didn't get to see much of either one of them, honestly. So I don't know a lot about what's been happening online today. So hopefully we'll get caught up. I have ruined Brett's voice for chat. Telescope. You are the one exception. I don't hear Brett Boyle's voice when I see him in your chat or one of the other chats. I hear your voice. and sadly, I hear your voice in my head singing the Freedom song made famous by Corinne. And that is both troubling and frustrating. but Telescope's got the guitar down and he sings the song, and I don't know, it just somehow is that much more fun, I guess, funnier. Liberty Bell, hello. Broccoli has ruined bath time, says Lori Arnold. Wednesday night, I'm thinking about Celebrity Hot Tub. Celebrity Hot Tub, buddy. Water's too hot in the hot tub. Only thing is, I don't have a hot tub. So that probably won't be happening. Wizzy was on red this morning early. Okay. That's interesting. Telescope, your impression of Brett sounds more like him than he does. Hi, Lisa Hurley. Hi, Laura. Peace, love, and unity. Everybody, thank you for being here. Let's get going with the news so we can get G. Abbott from G. Abbott's basement up here as soon as possible. I haven't seen her in here yet, but hopefully we will get her up here when she does. Actually, before we get to the breaking news, as I normally start out with, a couple of breaking things that have just recently happened and did not make our breaking news. 7 people were shot and killed at 2 separate scenes in Half Moon Bay this afternoon, according to San Mateo County Sheriff's Office. 4 victims were found dead at about 2:22 p.m. along the 2700 block of Cabrillo Highway. Another victim was transported to Stanford Medical Center with life-threatening injuries. Shortly after that discovery, 3 more victims were found dead at separate scene in the areas, according to the sheriff's office. The shooter is in custody, a 67-year-old Asian man. Now, this is, of course, we're going to touch on what happened in California late Saturday night, early Sunday morning. We'll touch on that coming up. But this is 2 mass shootings in the California area in the past basically 2 days, and both were conducted by older Asian men, one 67 and one 72. So with that, let's get to our breaking news because we've got some other stories. And again, hoping we get G. Abbott up here as soon as we possibly can. Here we go. According to the mainstream media, these are the top headlines. CNN, a death toll in the Monterey Park mass shooting rises to 11 as investigators search for a motive. Reuters, an ex-FBI official, worked for a sanctioned Russian oligarchy, according to prosecutors, and that ex-FBI official has been arrested. The BBC News headline is the Ukrainian war. Germany won't block the export of its Leopard 2 tanks, according to German foreign minister. And 2 students killed, 1 person in serious condition after a shooting in Des Moines, Iowa. There's also a shooting of 6 police officers, I believe, in Kansas. And then, according to the New York Times, jury convicts man who posed with the boot on a desk in Pelosi's office, and attorneys did that to happen. Sorry about that. Let me pop back over here. Thank you. Attorneys liken Tyree Nichols' arrest to the Rodney King beating. That came in an hour ago, and that's from AP News. Once again, this is AP is the Associated Press and not Anarchy Princess. Another story that is, whoa, wait a minute. What happened? Whoa, gee whiz, I disappeared there for a second. Everything disappeared. A couple of other stories here that weren't in the top headlines. Oath Keepers members found guilty of seditious conspiracy. And that is not good news for either the people above them in the Oath Keepers or the people below them. And not only the people above them in the Oath Keepers, but the people above them connected to anything to do with that particular January 6th day. This story, once again, we go to the Associated Press. Let's get rid of that. And according to the AP, police have arrested a failed candidate in shootings at Democrats. This is a 39-year-old felon who overwhelmingly lost a bid for the New Mexico State House as a Republican, paid 4 men to shoot at Democratic lawmakers' homes in recent months, including one house where a 10-year-old girl was asleep. The case against Solomon Pena posted photos of himself online with Donald Trump campaign material. It's one of dozens across the United States where people have threatened and in some cases attempted to carry out violence against members of Congress, school board members, and other election officials. In Kansas, the trial began this week for a man who prosecutors say threatened to kill a congressman. We give you things to think about on here. We don't tell you what to think or how to think. We have to try to talk with each other more and kill each other less. Politics should not be a blood sport, but it's becoming more and more a possibility. All right, another story that didn't make our top, but this is how Fox News is.
Get ready for anarchy in Atlanta.
This is how Fox News is covering the protests in Atlanta.
Antifa thugs are calling for a night of rage against law enforcement tomorrow after police shot and killed a man because he started shooting at a state trooper without warning. Police say it was in self-defense. Cops were raiding an autonomous zone that was set up to protest a proposed law enforcement training center. The sickening call for violence was posted on Twitter but taken down. It called for, quote, reciprocal violence to be done to the police and their allies. But Georgia cops aren't backing down to the threats.
Acts such as arson, physical attacks on members of our community, focused intimidation of citizens, the use of explosives, and setting booby traps that have the potential of causing great bodily harm or could possibly maim are not acts of peaceful protest. They are criminal acts that destabilize communities and endanger citizens.
Do you think this is getting a lot of media coverage, Greg Gutfeld?
I was just thinking, how all we hear.
Okay, we're going to keep on top of that. I just wanted to show you how Fox has been covering what's been happening in Atlanta, the protests that have been going on in Atlanta. We're keeping our eyes on it, and things have gotten out of hand a few times, and we're going to monitor and show you what we see and let you think for yourselves. Just ask you to think and ask you to look. I ask you to think and I ask you to look more than just one direction. Okay, we show different news sources on here. If you're only looking at if you're only looking in one direction, if you're only looking at one news source, you're only seeing one thing, and you're getting controlled and probably manipulated by the coverage of whatever particular outlet you're looking at. So common sense. Again, look for other sources, especially sources on the ground and that's what we use here. And that's how we've developed this channel, by having people in a lot of different places that can give us what's happening as it's happening, or close to it. But again, it's not peaceful in Atlanta, and depending on which side you view it on, justifiably so, or things are extreme. Let's just leave it at that word. And again, now you see why we started with some fun stuff at the beginning, because we've got some serious stuff to talk about here. Let's see. Let's go to this. The 11 people were killed and 9 others were injured by a gunman who opened fire at a crowded dance studio in Monterey Park, California on Saturday night. And by the way, I wasn't on when this was happening, but I was getting reports from sources, and they turned out to be fairly accurate. The suspect, identified as 72-year-old Hu Cantron, fled the scene and traveled to nearby Alhambra, where he allegedly entered a second dance hall before being disarmed. And Tron was found dead on Sunday from a self-inflicted gunshot wound inside a van in Torrance, about 30 miles southwest of Monterey Park. And again, as we reported earlier, they're currently trying to find a motive for that shooting. And this report, the man who actually disarmed the shooter at the second site. Brief report here.
By Brandon Shea, who wrestled the gun away from the shooter at the second dance hall. You saw in Juju's piece the video, the surveillance video of him doing that. Brandon, first and foremost, how are you doing this morning?
I'm doing well this morning. Thank you for asking.
Well, I don't know. No one can imagine what it must have been like to confront the gunman as you did. Just can you, in your own words, just tell us what you did, how you did it, and just what was going through your mind as this was going on?
Well, it was Chinese New Year's. We were hosting a social dance party. I was in the lobby. It was late into the evening. Most of our customers already left. I wasn't paying attention to the front door. I was looking into the dance ballroom, the dance floor, and this is when I heard the sound of the front door creaking closing, and instantly followed by the sound of a metal object clinking together as if they were rubbing. That's when I turned around and saw that there was an Asian man holding a gun. My first thoughts was I was going to die here. This was it.
Did you recognize him at all?
No, I did not recognize him. This was somebody I have never seen before. He didn't seem like he was here for any money. He wasn't here to rob us. When he was looking around the room, it seemed like he was looking for targets, people to harm.
Okay, Again, that came from ABC News from Good Morning America from this morning. And one final story here, and then I'll hop back over and chat, and hopefully G. Abbott from G. Abbott's basement will be here. What am I doing? There we go. All right. One final story. I teased this story on a couple of channels. There we go. Super pigs from Canada could soon be, get that off of there, could soon be invading the U.S. Oh, hold on.
Aid the northern United States if they haven't already. Feral hogs in the U.S. are nothing new, but these aren't your average javelinas. The so-called Canadian super pig is a hybrid between a wild boar and a domesticated hog. The animals were raised commercially in Canada until about 20 years ago, when the market for their meat dropped out. Some pigs escaped, others were set free, and now wild boars roam around 620,000 acres of Canadian prairie. The Canadian Wild Pig Research Project works to track the animals. Just like in other regions with feral hogs, the super pigs are negatively impacting the environment in devastating ways. They can grow to be more than 600 pounds. They eat goslings and ducklings by the mouthful. They uproot and destroy crops. They can even bring down full-grown deer. Despite its popularity, recreational hog hunting seems to be making the problem worse. The pigs are adapting by turning nocturnal, which makes them harder to track and remove. One way game wardens hunt the beasts is to put GPS tracking collars on subdued hogs called Judas pigs. The collared hogs lead wardens back to their dens, where the animals are, quote, removed from the environment. Geo-tracking put one hog less than 10 miles from the U.S. border. The scientist leading the Wild Pig Research Project said the wild pigs have probably crossed over into North Dakota already, since there is no physical or natural boundary between the U.S. and Canada in that region. For more stories about science and our natural world, be sure to check out straightarrownews.com.
There we go. I'm going to have to build a wall. People in North Dakota better be starting to build a wall. Otherwise, there's going to be them wild hogs coming in from Canada. I know. People are going to be making all kinds of references to super pigs from Canada, etc. A little bit of levity before we get G. Abbott up here. Is she here? Is G. Abbott in here from G. Abbott's basement? Wild hogs everywhere. Yeah, we've been talking about those Canadian bacon. G. Abbott is here. All right, I'm going to drop the link in here for G. Abbott. And we'll get her up here. Okay, we'll get her up here. And as a little introduction, while we wait, this is one of G. Abbott's videos. We'll check out here real quick. This is Streamer Dance Party. Oh, G. Abbott's basement, and that is the streamer dance party. And let's do this. Hello, G. Abbott. Hello.
I'm here.
All right. Thank you very much for being. Oh, thank you very much for being here.
No problem.
So, one of your videos there to kind of introduce you for those that don't know. How do you come up with these things?
I don't know. I just think of things to, I watch a lot of different streamers and just kind of piece things together and
Does something, I mean, is it like, because I write songs and I'll hear something and it'll trigger a lyric and I'll write it down and then I'll build off of it. Is that kind of how this? Okay.
Yeah, same thing. 100%.
Yeah, you see something in a video or see something in a stream or whatever and goes, oh my gosh, I've got to take off on that.
Yes, and I've gotten some suggestions from people before too, which has helped. So, but yeah, just pops in my head and I go for it.
And you're becoming quite prolific. I mean, you're putting out 2 or 3 high quality videos. It seems like every other day, if not every day.
Yeah, and it's a lot of work. I don't think people realize it takes a pretty good amount of time to get one out.
I've actually the next point I was going to go to was people don't realize how long it takes to put something together like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Some of them are shorter, but especially when they have a lot of information or somebody voicing, the voiceover process is long. So that takes a little while, but it's fun. I enjoy it.
All right. We'll get back to the videos here in a minute. You're OG BTM. You were around BTM close to the beginning?
Yeah, practically from the beginning, I think.
Right. That's where we first crossed paths in the BTM YouTube channel.
Yes.
And how did you get involved with BTM?
So I was actually watching travel videos on YouTube and I clicked on one of Travel Fun 69. Do you remember him?
No.
So that
I've heard the name, but I don't. That was before me.
Okay, yeah, his name's Jeff, and he's a bald guy that was at TPC. But I had seen one of his travel videos and watched a couple of them, and then one day he was live, and it came up on my YouTube, and he was at TPC, and I was like, "What is this? This is weird." And then I just started watching the different streamers. He was talking about them, promoting them on his channel, and then it just went from there and snowballed.
And when did you start doing the video stuff?
I started last year. I did a couple of lives, and that was a long process. So I know what you go through. And then I just had life got in the way, just regular, just work and all that. So I stopped, and then I started back up right before Christmas.
Yeah, because I remember seeing you in one of they had like a Foursquare box live on the BTM Discord. And I wanted to have, yeah, it was a while back.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah. And I wanted to have you on then, and you were like, no, I'm really kind of trying to remove myself from this for a whole while.
Yeah. Well, because it was consuming for a while, but I had all the time in the world because of COVID. So I was home and, but it did become a little consuming. Plus it was getting into summer and, just wanted to kind of do some summer things, be outside and all of that. So I took a little break, but then, so I actually missed the ending of TPC. And then when I came back on to start watching again, 76 had already been created. So I'd missed a big portion of all that. So I had to kind of get reacquainted with everything because I had no clue what was going on. And then I got hooked again. So here we are.
Fortunately, there's tons of lore online for those that need to catch up or that miss something. You can go back and find just about anything.
Oh, absolutely. It doesn't take long to catch up at all.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of stuff out there.
There is. There's so much stuff. I mean, I'm not even going to come close to saying I've seen half of probably what is out there.
Oh,
There's so,
same here.
there's just so much.
Yeah, I probably haven't seen even half of it.
And that's the good thing about having this platform. People send me stuff that I need to see to make sure that I see stuff.
Right.
That's nice because, and it's also nice having Cunning Stunt and GA come on here and report what's going on, because you can't see it all yourself.
Right. Twitter does help.
Maybe now you could, but
Yeah.
in its highlight, in its heyday, you couldn't see everything yourself because there were so many streams going on and so much happening at once. You saw what one streamer was showing you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but then I started to get it, and I would flip flop around, and I kind of just happenstance on a lot of things half the time. I'll just click on something and somebody's going on a rant, so I just kind of take what I get. If I miss something, I'll catch up on it later from someone.
Yeah, well, there were the rare people, the Jeff Ellis kind of people that had 8 or 10 screens open at the same time,
right?
And were watching everything. I salute them for being able to do that to begin with, but it's been one of the most interesting things I've ever reported on.
Oh yeah, it's definitely interesting. It's been a ride.
And I want to play real quick here a section of one of your videos. It is Fools at Work. And it's just an example, I think, of some things that people might have missed that you have caught and have enabled people to see and judge for themselves.
Because if you prey on my demise, you're a piece of shit. You piece of shit. You need to fucking go away.
Well, Lisa Hurley just said Buffalo Man. Imagine saying that about her.
Yeah, fuck her. She's a piece of. She's a dead piece of shit.
She was like, "Oh, Washington handle."
Lisa Hurley is nothing but a leftist piece of shit, and guess what? Their time is coming. So, fuck her.
Okay. Who's on this panel?
So
right
that
here?
Would be Red, Jersey J.
Red Squirrel up here, Jersey J.
Red Squirrel.
Okay.
And then the tank is Game Dev.
Okay.
And then picture, that is Buffalo Man.
Okay.
And Buffalo Wifey. And then
this
I
is
believe
Buffalo Wifey?
No, I think they were together, and I believe the B is Brenda, maybe, but I'm not 100% sure.
Okay. All right. Was he threatened? Was that a threat?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay. All right. I totally agree with that. I don't think it's overreacting at all to say that. Is it a legitimate threat? Is it a serious threat? Is it just something that somebody's saying online?
Who knows? I mean, things can get to a certain point and people can't control themselves. And who knows when people are inebriated or just upset with how things are going. I mean, look at our culture right now, our climate. People fly off the handle for the smallest things.
I'd have to say these two, the two Asian men, the 72-year-old, the 67-year-old Asian men in California, I would have to kind of, I guess, assume that they've had something building up inside them. You don't just decide to go out and start killing people. I don't think. I think you have to have a rage that has built up for a while, and I hope that is not what we're seeing with Buffalo Man, whatever his real name is, but I think it has to be a consideration.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's always in the back of my mind. And it was when 76 was in DC, and and had the counter protesters. And I had the same feeling when they were in Bunker Hill and all of that was going on. And I mean, they can't let it go. They're still talking about that. And so it's just, it's constant breed of hate, constant breed of just upset with things not going their way. And I think that's what happens with a lot of people. It's they want their way, they want it now. And some people just cannot handle not getting their way. They just can't handle it.
Do you think they're able to step back and look and realize what they are potentially into, what they're potentially involved with, or are they going in really clear-sighted and they know this is, I started watching this not because it had anything to do with pedophilia. I started covering this because I thought it was a potential insurrection, and it's gotten framed as a pedophilia cult, and instead of an insurrection movement.
Right, and that's exactly the same reason that I was watching it. Was the same reason you were. I didn't even know about the pedophilia angle of it until it came to light. And it's horrible that so my thing is they're basing a lot of this off of their Christianity. And I've heard Buffalo Man, in the summertime, in the fall time, talk about his Christianity, talk about his faith, talk about how he behaved with his children. And that has shifted. And I don't know if it's because of the people who they're talking to, who they're spending their time with online. But they're becoming radicalized. And he was kind of a calm character, and now he's, clearly off the handle when it comes to certain issues. And I just think the company they keep is a big part of that. It can be a catalyst to something worse.
And I'm sure that after, I'm sure there are going to be lots of conversations, even possibly later on tonight, but definitely tomorrow, about what we're talking about. And if there's somebody out there that you just absolutely, totally disagree with everything we're saying, and you want to come on and say your side, email me, americandufus@gmail.com. I'm not guaranteeing you I'm going to have you on, but it depends who you are. I might have you on, and if you want to counter this is something and I'm glad you came on, Abott. This is something I've been wanting to try to get going, is having a civilized debate between people on issues that should be debated, so that we can try to talk to each other and not kill each other.
Right. Just a cross-sectional conversation. And I've tried that. I've tried that on a lot of streams, and they do not want to talk to me. Prime example would be Wizzy's.
That's my bar. That's my dream, is to have you and Wizzy on here having a civilized conversation about the different sides.
Right.
I think people would learn from that, learn how to behave with each other, if nothing else. So
right. And we've conversed on telescopes several times, and it starts out, cordial. But then I say something and he gets upset. And I'm not going to tolerate anyone yelling at me. So I prefer a civilized conversation, and he doesn't yet. Maybe that can change.
Would you be willing to toss the invitation out if he wants to come on next Monday night and have a civil conversation, a debate on a few topics? Would you like to throw that bar out?
Yeah, absolutely. I was even going to mention him tonight anyway. I was listening to Red earlier, and he hopped on. Well, they were talking about him, so he hopped on, and everything he said to him, I agreed with, and that doesn't happen too often. But he made some good points, and I just think whomever's claiming that they are a good Christian, that they have Christian conservative American values, that they say they cherish, and is entertaining anything that is coming out of Red's mouth is a major hypocrite to me. He's vile. It's vile language. It's vile talk. And I personally have not heard anyone talk like that.
No. Some of the necrophilia kind of stuff and the bestiality with the animals and
not my scene.
No. I'm a Christian. And people may not know that because I don't talk a lot about it on here. I don't. But tomorrow night, Tuesday night, science night. And I'm also going to touch on faith tomorrow night and why I don't hold prayer sessions and I don't pray in public and people that watch tomorrow night, you're going to find out it's because Jesus instructed those of us that follow him not to be making giant public displays of things. Those are only for you. They're not for him. Just a little tease. We're going to talk some faith tomorrow night as well as science, because I'm tired. I'm tired of Christianity getting hijacked. I'm tired of the American flag being hijacked.
That's exactly what I've been saying.
I'm tired of patriotism being hijacked, being defamed, being made meaningless.
Yes, and I've called them Jesus pimps several times. And it's an accurate statement in my eyes, because they have taken Christ and they have slandered his name in their actions and used him for monetary gain, and that, in my eyes, is not right.
No, it's not, and I'm going to talk about that a little bit tomorrow night. I had something that popped into my head as you were saying that, and it just popped back out. I don't remember what it was. I'm sorry.
No problem.
I'm sorry. Let me go over to the chat real quick. Anybody have any questions for us while we are up here? Lisa Hurley says, G. Abbott, thank you so much for bringing this to everyone tonight. I totally agree with that.
You're welcome, Lisa.
Your channel, G. Abbott's Basement, again, you've become really prolific with making the bank, Wells Fargo, my brain is gone off trigger. Ancestry.com.
Yeah, that one's a little long. I should have shortened it, but
I don't think it was. It was, to me, both of those are just like, man, that's Saturday Night Live parody. You know, they do the commercial parodies.
Yeah.
That's right there with them. It was some creative and funny stuff
based
on truth, which is one of the keys of ultimate humor, in my opinion.
Absolutely. I agree. And, you know, some of them are more the serious side.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And I know I'm making fun of people, but these people are putting themselves out there for the world, or, you know, thousands to see. And, you know, that's a part of the game. I mean, I put my face out there, and Red decided to try to tear me up over that. And, you know, it's a part of it. And I understand that. So,
and we'll get hit over this, you know,
right.
We will both get hit over this. Even though we're just talking our truths and we're just giving people things to think about. When I met up with Lori Arnold, the next day, there were dozens of videos about how Lori Arnold and I hooked up, and the fun, you know, it's amazing how quickly we become content.
Right. Oh yeah. Well, I knew it was bound to happen. You know, I'm making videos, people are seeing it. So, you know, it's par for the course. I'm, you it's just the way it is. So
I'm hoping more people will come to the channel and see them, because it's varied. There's some funny stuff there. There's some serious stuff there's some very troubling stuff there.
yeah, and it needs to be seen. It needs to be heard. And, there's a lot of channels like this out there. One of my favorites is the Lincoln Project. They make a lot of good stuff too. And they, of course, have, a huge following.
Yeah, they got a pretty good budget
Yeah,
too.
absolutely.
Yeah.
But they don't know about 76 from what I gather. And they don't know about these Proud Boy wannabes, that are not in the limelight. And there's all of these small groups out there that have the same ideologies. And so if we can do it on a smaller level to bring light to them, then I'm all for it.
That's the thing that's always been troubling with me, because like I said, I started reporting on this because I found it to be a possible insurrectionist movement. And how many others are out there?
I couldn't imagine.
I'm concerned that there are a lot more than we are aware of, and that we meaning we as a country, we possibly aren't taking this serious enough.
I mean, I know that a lot of the groups have been labeled as domestic terror organizations. So I know that there is, I guess, a watchdog group out there, that's watching these people, but I don't think it's on the smaller scale like we're seeing. Right. I don't think that they're giving them the attention that they probably deserve at this point, just based on what they're saying and have done.
And I agree. And I think, this is a microcosm. I've said that again, the reason I started reporting on it, because I felt like this movement was a microcosm of what was happening in the country. I think we all started watching this intently because of the pedophilia angle, because of the fact that this group actually got counter protested. If the counter protesters, if Telly and the Squirrels and Ant and Lori and AP and Pluck and everybody that went down there, Whistle Girl, all of them, if they had not been there and drawn the attention from both sides, because the counter protesters were the fuel to this. And
absolutely.
Had they not been there, the attention wouldn't have focused on 1776 like it did.
Absolutely. And I think the attention from 76 wouldn't have focused on the trolls. I think that was the downfall of their entire, which, I mean, who knows how long it would have gone if it hadn't have ended in Bunker Hill, or quote unquote ended. But yeah, their focus on the trolls took away from anything, any plans, anything that they had, prepared or decided to do, was squashed. So they did a great job in a sense of they stopped it. But the 76 movement did a horrible job of doing whatever they intended on doing, because their sole focus was on people who were against them.
And you're right, exactly right. And it was hard to identify what their focus was, because it kept changing. It kept, just like an amoeba. It just kept,
right. Well, I think it was a lot of attacks from people online that were asking questions. Why aren't you doing this? Why are you doing that? And, being questioned on their knowledge of politics, on policy, on the Constitution. I mean, they didn't even know anything about the Constitution really, except for the First and Second Amendment. Beyond that, they were not prepared. And so I think that's why it was constantly evolving, because they didn't know what they were doing.
And you mentioned the attack. And another reason I started watching this a little more closely than I probably would have otherwise is because every time I tried to get information on the movement, asking a simple question, coming into a chat and saying, full disclosure, I'm an independent journalist, I have a legitimate question. just that post in itself got me kicked out most of the time.
Absolutely. I mean, I wouldn't even be in there attacking anyone. I would simply just be asking just a plain old question, just something generic, and gone.
Wizzy was the only one that said, okay, American Doofus channel, go ahead and ask your question.
Mhm.
And I said, what freedoms are these people fighting for? And Wizzy said, well, if you don't understand that, you'll never understand that. And then people in the chat started going, you need to go to BTM. You need to go to BTM. And I'm like, what's BTM? And that's how I ended up at BTM asking questions.
Mhm.
And BTM's like, oh, come on in. You know,
Yeah, we'll talk about it.
We'll tell you all from all sides, because we've got people that were there and left, and we got people that have been fighting them from the start. So that's how I found BTM.
Right. And with TPC, the reason I started really watching it was because 2 days after it started, the mandates were gone.
Yeah.
So I didn't understand what they were doing.
Yeah.
You know, I would ask the same question. What is the freedom that you're losing or you have lost that you're fighting for? And I could never get an answer. And that continued into 76.
And it continues to this day.
I know. And how do you expect to recruit people into your movement when you won't even discuss it?
You know, if you don't know, you'll never understand.
Right.
Well, okay. I'm telling you, I don't know. And instead of trying to educate me, you want to shoot me.
Right.
That's troubling.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And then when it gravitated into the Christian movement, it didn't make sense to me then either, because of the people in the movement. I mean, I can spot someone that's probably, not hanging on the right side of the law from a mile away usually. And before anything even came out, I just thought, these people are sketchy. This doesn't seem right to me. And then the grifting started, and it got real heavy. And I was like, okay, I get it. I know what they're doing.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Anybody in the chat, let us know if you got some questions. We'll if you have some questions for G. Abbott. Jeff is in here. There's no movement. It's all about grifting for money. Racist homophobia ass wipes is Lisa Hurley's definition. Didn't you get your coin? The response isn't much different.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw my Santos video.
Your Santa video?
Santos, the George Santos video.
Oh no, I haven't. No, you did a George Santos video.
So I did one where I court. Well, it's about evangelicals, the right, Santos, and Buffalo Man.
Oh wow!
And the reason behind that is because Buffalo Man at this point is so adamant at protesting these drag shows, and I just didn't understand why he's so against that, but isn't out picketing in front of Congress right now to get George Santos, not because he's a drag queen, but because he's a liar.
But he is a failed drag queen.
Oh yeah, right. And so, hold on,
why?
I'm sorry.
No.
Yeah. Why are you protesting one but not the other? Is it because he's alt-right? Is it because what is it? So.
Okay, hold on a second. Telescope had a question and then it disappeared. Where'd it go?
I saw it. He asked
Did you
what
see
the
it?
other faces were in my new videos.
Yes, that's it.
Okay, so the first video is Red and Mel, and then, or I'm sorry, well the love story is Red and Mel, and then the second one is WYSIWYG, Telescope, your face is in there, Red, Jersey J, and Mags. And then, oh, I'm sorry, I made 3 today. I'm sorry, I was on a roll. And then the
I'll have to go watch them. I haven't seen any of the new ones.
yeah, they're facial swapping videos. They're kind of funny. Oh, and then there's another one. The betrayal is Mags, Wizzy, and Red.
Okay.
There you
go. All right. I had not thought about it until I was on YouTube and I put in G Abbott to search for the videos I wanted to use, and the governor of Texas came up.
Oh,
and I hadn't thought about Greg Abbott, the governor of Texas, as being G Abbott, but yeah.
Yep, that was on purpose. I absolutely named it after him.
Okay, that was what I was going.
I'm kidding.
The tribute, well done. Max Flower says Rydell's ravings are getting more extreme, in my humble opinion.
Yeah, I actually haven't watched him lately. I probably need to catch up on it. I've seen some stills on Twitter of him crying and kind of losing it, but I haven't watched him much.
Okay. All right. Red is great in Wizzy's Revenge. That's from Laura.
Good. Yeah. There's just satire, just having a little fun with it.
Wizzy's Revenge. I'm looking forward to seeing that. Okay. Doesn't look like we have too many questions or anything. Anything you want to? I hope you will come back on here.
Oh, absolutely.
And I hope I can say, look, if you want to debate, we'll get G Abbott on here and we'll have a debate.
Yeah, I love debate.
Okay, so anybody in the right wing extremist clan that want to come on and talk, if you want to come on and debate your position with G Abbott, you can do so. If you want to just come on and say you're wrong, that's not what we're after. We're after discussions. We're after exchanging ideas, trying to explain points. So,
yeah, absolutely. I would really enjoy it. I just wanted to point out one other thing I was reading on Twitter today. It's in regards to Trump, and I just thought it was bizarre. And the reason I talk about Trump is because they still desire him to be their president. They still revere him as a great man. And I don't get it. I do not get it. And I've told everybody this before on Telescopes. I did, before the pandemic, I sort of liked Trump's economic policies. And so the things he was saying, at least, not that he actually put any into place, but I liked what he was saying as far as the economy was concerned. But that was about it. And so I wasn't totally against him until the pandemic started and the crazy stuff coming out of his mouth in regards to that. But today, he decided in his condolence on Truth Social, decided to talk about the 10 people that were dead in one brief little sentence, and then went on a rant about how the election was stolen. And he also did that at Diamond's funeral from Diamond and Silk. He did the same thing. And I know it's a silly question because I'm asking people who frequent Red's chat, but how can you back someone who can't let, bodies are still warm, can't let someone rest in peace for even a day without bringing up the stolen election? It's nuts. It's crazy to me. That's all. I've never heard a president spew so much hate before, ever.
No.
Past, current, it's crazy.
And a lot of it directed at our own government.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Just deteriorating the whatever bit of trust that we have in the government is just frayed day by day when he does that.
Yeah. GA from CA said, "Dude's nutso." That's her. That's her definition. Yeah. The dude is nutso. All right. Well, I thank you again. I thank you for coming on. I do hope you'll come back on. Yes. I'm going to come back and check your. I'll go check your videos here, and we'll see who else is live coming up here in a little bit. Telescope mentioned doing a 1-year anniversary kind of thing for the beginning of the TPC, since it kind of started all this, and it's coming up here real soon.
Yeah.
If you don't come back on before then, I'd like to have you back on for a segment that night, because we're going to probably do like 6 hours.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you for
Thank
coming
you for
on here.
having me.
Thank you for giving
I
me
appreciate
the
it, Barry.
time.
Thank you.
Greatly appreciated. We'll
All right,
see you.
thanks.
See you in the chats.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna watch you tomorrow for sure.
All right. The one
right.
and only G Abbott from G Abbott's Basement. One of the OGs, one of the truly OGs from BTM, Behind the Mirror, and puts out some absolute killer videos. G Abbott's Basement. That's all you got to do. Just go to YouTube in the search panel, G Abbott's Basement, and a bunch of stuff. And some of it doesn't have a lot of views that should have views, because it's receipts, and receipts are important. Proof is important. And thank you all for being here. And again, thank you to G Abbott. Subsonic, thank you for being here. Cheyenne, Troll Central, Wild Man. Oh, thank you, G Abbott. That was awesome. That was truly awesome. And I'll be back tomorrow night, 10 p.m. Eastern time. And it's Science Tuesday. We got some science stuff to talk about. One of the things we're going to be talking about are the magnetic poles of the Earth. And just a little tease, the North Pole has stopped. The North magnetic pole is not migrating like it has been for the past several years. So we'll see what that means. And I'm also going to talk just a little bit of faith tomorrow night. I'm not going to get preachy with you. I'm not going to ram anything down your throats. I'm just going to talk to you a little bit about why what you are seeing by some is not what Christianity really is. And I hope you'll give me an ear for that as well. Thank you for being here. I'm so blessed and honored anytime I'm on here. If anybody watches, and as many people as are watching, I am honored, I'm blessed, and I'm very humbled, and I thank you for that. We got a lot of stuff in the works, a lot of stuff that's going to be coming up. And this week, tomorrow night, we're going to be doing Science Tuesday, Wednesday. Always look forward to Wednesday. Cunning Stunt and GA from CA will be on. Thursday, we'll have game night. Now, this coming weekend on Sunday it's Championship Sunday in the NFL. The Cincinnati Bengals and the Kansas City Chiefs are playing, and the San Francisco 49ers and the Philadelphia Eagles are playing. Now, Philadelphia is notorious for celebrations and for also riots when they lose. They grease the light poles. So people can't climb the light poles. For their own safety. Philly gets kind of crazy, and if they win this game Sunday, they will go to the Super Bowl. If they lose this game, their season's over, and they will be very upset, and they'll want to fire the head coach and kill all the players. That's just how Philly works. So the reason I bring all this up is because our good friend CKM Music just might be in Philadelphia and just might be live streaming Sunday night for the celebration, or for the whatever you call it when you riot after losing. So, that's possibly on the agenda for CKM Music coming up on Sunday. But seriously, we've got some things coming up. We're going to do the brackets, and as a way of kind of looking back. Again, Telescope's got some things in the works that he's going to be doing. And we're going to probably do a kind of a joint tribute to the 1 year start of all of this madness that has put us in this little kind of auxiliary tube of the internets and this community that we've all kind of found ourselves in. And I thank you for watching. I thank you for allowing me to be a part of your evening, a part of your week, and we'll be doing it all again tomorrow night at 10. Until then, namaste, shalom, salam, assalamu alaikum. Blessings in the name of the Most High, His Son, Christ Jesus, the power of the Holy Spirit be upon you, and positive vibes, peace, and love to everybody. Thank you all for watching. This has been Doofus After Dark. Thanks again to G. Abbott from G. Abbott's Basement. We'll do it again tomorrow night at 10 p.m. Hopefully you'll be here with us. Until then, I love you all. Thank you so much. Well, hang on. There we go. We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.